So welcome to Boxing Media Hub. You're with Joel and Ash again for another live prediction show. This is very intriguing, this one, to be fair. There's many factors behind this one as to how this could go. We're sponsored by Falcon Contracting and boxbets.co.uk, the home of boxing betting. Make sure you gamble responsibly. And we're going for Kubrat Pulev. Cool. We've got the names for this one, haven't we? Versus Andrzej Wawrzyk or Wawrzyk. We've probably got it wrong. Pulev, 32 fights, 29 wins, 14 knockouts. Feels like he's been around a lot longer than that, to be fair. And he's just been in the wars, that bloke. Wawrzyk, 36 fights, 34 wins, 20 knockouts. This is at the Hangar in Costa, Mesa on the 14th of December, 23. Pulev last out July 2022 when he lost to Derek Chisora, who probably since has been at his worst. The decline has begun, which he lost on a split decision.
He was declining before the Pulev fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Hayes seemed to have picked him up a little bit, conditioning-wise, and then he's kind of now... Yeah. Wawrzyk was last out in July this year against Kamil Bodziok. God, that's a winner, isn't it? Which was a win, TKO round 1. It's probably wrong. I apologise. There's so many factors to this one. We were just chatting, Ash. Pulev, obviously, we didn't realise the guy's 42. Over a year out of the ring, as we say, July last year was his last fight, and that was a loss as well. That's a lot to contend with coming back.
He's got no momentum behind him. He's got nothing really going in his favour apart from his experience at a higher level and skill set. But age, you get old overnight very quickly. And, is he getting old? He's 42 now, so he's got to be old, hasn't he? I know heavyweight can last longer than the smaller weights, but there's only so long you can keep going for. Is he another Chisora that's just going to keep fighting and be a bit of a step up for the fighters?
Yeah. You almost slot into that gatekeeper category. Yeah,
gatekeeper.
Chris, not sure Pulev should continue fighting, but said this about Chisora, etc.
Yeah. I agree with Chris. Chisora shouldn't be fighting. Chisora should have retired a few fights ago. But he's getting paid millions for every fight, so that's why he keeps on doing it. I mean, it's all about the money.
Didn't realise Pulev was fighting till this came up on my notifications. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think many people do. I literally came across this going through Ring Magazine's schedule. And that's how quiet it's been. Pulev used to be a name where people thought, wow, there was a bit of traction behind it. He was a tough operator. But as we say, he's now sort of slid under the radar, being that older guy, not getting those fights that he potentially should be in, where Derek's still, because Derek causes waves and he's unpredictable, he's a bit random. People still like to see him. Pulev's a very quiet guy, so he's almost just slipped away. It's a tough one, Ash. To be fair, as you say, you've got the younger guy in Wawrzyk. Obviously, more knockouts to his name, more fights to his name as well. It's an intriguing one, really.
But he hasn't. If you look at Wawrzyk, I was watching him earlier, and he looked absolutely dreadful. I was watching him against Franz Botha, and he just looked so poor. I watched him and I thought, there's no way Pulev could lose to this guy. And then I thought, well, I'll have a look at Pulev and see where he's at. And I can't believe that Pulev lost to Chisora. You know, I mean, it's like,
Saying
I
that,
mean, I think,
Varcek has been in against Povetkin,
yeah, but I mean, but my
but that was
perfecting
a
this
demolished
perfecting
job.
3 rounds. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfecting, like, Varchek's been sparking 3 rounds, but perfecting. I think Pulev and Perfecting are kind of on that same level as each other. But if if, if I put money on it, I probably would have put money on if Pulev winning because of the difference in size. But then again, I mean, Perfecting's very crafty getting inside. You know, I mean,
yeah, yeah. He's a
look at
tough
him
guy.
going for the
Tough guy.
body. It's tough. I mean, I don't know. I think like with Pulev, I just think that with his fight against Anthony Joshua, that was his last hurrah to hit the big time. And he lost to Anthony Joshua. He's come back, won a small fight. Then he lost on a split to Derek Chisora, who, let's be honest, he isn't the world level. He's our European level / gatekeeper level for the fringe world. Um, it was a split, and it was in London, so you could say that maybe he was kind of conned out of the win. If you lose in a split in a boxer's backyard, then sometimes or most of the time that means you really won.
Yeah.
But end of the day, he still lost on paper. He hasn't boxed for a year. He's getting old. Is this fight going to be too fresh for him? Like, you know, I don't know. I mean, before this prediction, before talking about it and discussing this fight, I was saying I think Pulev's going to win. But you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to go with a Varchek. I think Varchek is backing.
Hang on, you set me up for a trap here. Hang on.
I changed my mind. I think Varchek. I think Varchek's probably fresher, younger, he's got more hunger, and although it might not be at the same skill level that Pulev has been, I don't know. I think that might just take him over the finish line, and I'm going to go with the Varchek stoppage, late rounds. I'm going to say between 9 and 11.
I've been proper stitched up here. Right. I'm
Sorry,
having a
Joel.
word with you after this. I've just looked back at a Chisora split decision. So the first card was 116 to 112 for Pulev. And then it was 114, 116, and 112 and 116 to Derek Chisora. So it's a strange one. Pulev was cut over both eyes. Left eye was the 5th round. Right eye was the 10th round. So he's obviously it's that wear and tear again. You know,
Yep.
is the face going to hold up? Are the cuts going to be worse if they're just going to go in these sort of fights now? The skin gets more tender, doesn't it, as you get older, more fragile. Is that going to play a factor as well? But you know what? I think in this one,
you don't recover as quick either, do you? From injuries, from training, it's harder. Well, I mean, he ain't got to lose weight because he's heavyweight, but I mean, you got to take a lot more time into your health the older you get because
yeah.
your body's wear and tear becomes greater. I mean, you have a car that's done 100,000 miles, you got to be careful with how you drive it. Whereas if it's done 5,000 miles, you don't really care. You got a lot on the clock. You got a lot more to go on the clock. So I mean, has Pulev got too much wear and tear to take out somebody like this? What do you think,
Well,
Joel?
Chris,
Give us a prediction.
you're a shitbag. But Varchek on point, says Chris. Chris, damn you. Do you know what? I'm going to go against it, and I am going to go Kubrat Pulev.
Okay.
I think based on the factors you came out with, Ash. To be fair, I know being active is his real negative that he hasn't got going for him, and he's coming off a loss since July last year. That's a long time after a loss as well to pick yourself up. But and being 42, but I just think experience, and you said skill set as well, that stays there. He might be that bit slower, but he's still going to carry it. He has got potential for knockouts, not as much, but it kind of sits in the same sort of. They're sitting, aren't they, around a similar But I just think Pulev for me, this could be the last win if we're going to see one, because it has to be now. Because I think if he gets another loss, I think it's retirement. It has to be. So I think this is last saloon, isn't it, for Pulev? So for me, I'm going to go for a random shot here. I'm going to go for Pulev. 9-12 stoppage for Pulev.
I will say that whoever wins, and I'll probably put money on this because I do like a little bet. I think both lads will hit the floor.
Yeah. No, massive chance of it happening. Yeah. Massive chance.
I think that's both hit the floor, both of them.
I think if Pulev hits the floor late on, then I think because of age and engine, he'll be knackered. So to get up would be even tougher, on your body. But I just think Pulev the experience and drive will get him through to the into those rounds. So yeah, let me know in the comments, people. Chuck your predictions. Me and Ash will get back to you as well. So Team Joel, Team Ash on this one. Pulev versus Wawrzyk, and Team Chris by the looks of it. And let us know in the comments. Ash, thank you very much as always. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, people. As I say, sponsored by Falcon Contracting and botsbets.co.uk. And we will see you soon. Till then, have some of this.